Today, we are digging into a true classic, Daniel's running formula, to figure out the secret to smarter training. And it all starts with one kind of shocking idea. What if I told you that the very thing you're proudest of as a runner, your hard work, that grit, that grind, is actually the exact thing holding you back from getting faster? It sounds crazy, right? But stick with me. I bet this sounds familiar to some of you. You're putting in the miles, you're sweating buckets, you are pushing yourself to the limit, but your race times are just stuck. You've hit that dreaded wall. And man, is it frustrating. You're carving out all this time away from your family, from your work, to pour into your training. So when you hit a plateau, it makes you wonder if all that sacrifice is even worth it. But what if we've been looking at this whole getting faster thing completely backward? Let's get into our first big idea, which is all about how your body actually adapts and gets stronger. Okay, this chart right here, this is everything. It shows that you don't actually get fitter during your run. Nope, that's when you're literally breaking your body down. See that curve? The real magic, the gains, that all happens afterward, in the recovery period. Your body adapts to the stress you put on it and rebuilds, but just a little bit stronger than before. So it all boils down to this simple formula. Stress plus rest equals adaptation. That's the name of the game. The key is applying just enough stress to kickstart that process. And then, and this is the part we all forget, giving your body enough rest to actually do the rebuilding. Too much stress and not enough rest, that just leads to burnout or injury. So if it's all about managing that stress, how do we actually do it? Well, Daniels gives us 4 main levers we can pull to fine-tune everything. Think of this as your training control panel. You've got 4 main dials: how much you run, how fast, how often, and how much you rest. The real art of training is knowing which dial to turn and when. They're all connected, you know? If you crank up the intensity dial one week, you probably need to dial back on frequency, or maybe dial up the recovery to keep things in balance. Okay, so we've got these levers, but let's make this practical. How do we translate something like intensity into a feeling we can recognize on the road without staring at our watch the whole time? This is where it gets really cool. We can use analogies from our everyday lives. An easy pace, that should feel like you're just strolling through the park with a friend, having a full conversation, no stress. That's what builds your endurance. Now, threshold pace, think about the feeling of leading a big presentation at work. You're focused, you're in control, but it's definitely demanding. You can get a few words out, but only in short sentences. And then you've got interval pace. That's the flat-out 30-second sprint you do when you're about to miss the train. Talking is just not going to happen. Okay, I promised you something super practical you could try, so here is a simple drill you can use on your very next run to start feeling these different effort levels. Forget all the tech for a second. Your own body has a perfect natural pacekeeper built right in, and it's your breathing. So, on your next easy run, just notice your breathing. Try to sync it to a 3-3 rhythm. Breathe in for 3 steps, out for 3 steps. It should feel totally relaxed. Now, as you speed up to that presentation pace, your threshold, you'll find it naturally shifts to a 2-2 rhythm. In for 2, out for 2. That's your sweet spot. And if you find you have to switch to a 2-1 or a 1-2 rhythm, well, you're sprinting for that train. It's a super simple but powerful way to listen to your body. And really, this quote from Jack Daniels himself sums it all up. The big shift we need to make is to stop thinking, I gotta go run hard, and start asking, what's the purpose of this specific run? Every single time you lace up, you should have an answer. Is it for recovery? For endurance? For power? So, as we finish up, here's a question for you. Think about your own training this week. Which one of those 4 levers, your workload, your intensity, your frequency, or your recovery, are you going to adjust to start training smarter, not just harder?